I saw another video on how to make an app with ChatGPT, and I couldn't help but weigh in on this one again. Welcome back, my name's Andy, and I am the Code Rebel. I saw this video on YouTube the other day. It's from AI Andy, and it's called How to Make an App with ChatGPT Without Knowing Code. And this is up my street, so I'm going to have to weigh in on this and do a bit of a reaction. It is a little bit of an older video, so it's not super reactive on my behalf. And my t-shirt looks really crumpled because I've had a shirt on top of it, so I probably should have changed that before doing this, but never mind. Let's just, off the cuff, react to this and get another one done. So, yeah. Let's go for it. See what he has to say, and I'll comment on what I think is happening. As usual, let's go.
When ChatGPT came out, I started to write code and make small apps because I never knew how to code. But I always wanted to make these small softwares that can do custom things for me. Like, for example, can I take my favorite TikTok accounts, put them into a spreadsheet, and get their last 10 videos with their views and likes and everything like that? Or just code that takes screenshots of websites. Therefore, I have now found a process and a workflow where I believe
a print screen button takes screenshots of websites.
That you can go from any idea that you have to a finished product that you can share with other people. Huge disclaimer here, if it's a big ass project, maybe not, but I've been able to make pretty much anything that I can imagine. So by the end of this video, you can create your own app. So the app that I need and I want to create and show you how I created looks very much like scribehow.com. So essentially you just capture a scribe, click on new tab, and then you can create instructions. Now capturing your browser, we can make a how-to instruction on something to do. Let's say we go to Amazon, then we click on Amazon.com, type the characters, and then we type TV. Oops, something weird happened. Either way, if I click on show controls now and I complete the capture, and then I get these beautiful instructional screenshots on exactly how somebody else could do that, right? So navigate to Google, click this search field, click on Amazon.com, type this, type that, and yada yada. And I was like, there must be some way to just take screenshots when you click a mouse button. And I'm like, can I code that? So in 3 steps, I'm gonna show you what I did to make it. And by the end also, I'll give you the software as well, since I am a software developer now.
No, you're not. And yeah, the best way to do this, I wouldn't tie up your mouse clicks. I'd assign a hotkey to it. That is the best way. This is, take it from me, I am a software developer. I've done this for a long time. I know multiple languages. I spent time studying it and doing it all. And I've used ChatGPT to code. And I'm just going to put it out there that it isn't that good. It does things that are very bad practice. It makes mistakes. It doesn't know what it's doing. It doesn't know how to fix them. It does. And the more you try and fix it, the more you're going to go around in circles and get in a problem because it's not the best. But let's see. But you're not a software developer. You know, if you pay a jockey and he wins the Grand National, you are not a Grand National winner. And by the same means, you are not a software developer if you can use ChatGPT. And if you are a software developer, it's a good tool, it's a good assistant. Don't get it to write a whole application because it doesn't know what it's doing. Get it to do function by function specifically and analyze them yourself, and you correct them and make sure. Do not just give it all the controls and let it go. Well, let's see what he does.
So the first step is actually just, can you make a Python script that captures a screenshot every time I click my mouse? Simple idea, right? And right away you will get this code. Now, if you never set up code before, this is what step 1 is for. So you can copy this code and you need to download Visual Studio Code. This is where we're going to copy and paste all the code. Also, if you're completely new, click on this extensions tab and search for Python, and you need to download that as well. Now just click on File, click on New File, and we can name it something like screen1.py. And for a first-time user, this is very important. Put it in your documents folder and not hidden inside of a folder.
Just to weigh in on that, like when I went to university, it cost £600 for a Visual Studio license to learn to do this. Now you can get Visual Studio for free, and it is good, and it enables people to do things. On the flip side, it lets a lot of people who, just go and play around with it and make a mess of stuff, and then just publish it all. But yeah, if you're a professional, Visual Studio is fantastic. You'll know that anyway if you're a professional watching this. But there's plenty of other tools like Notepad++ that can do this, and you can do similar things in it. Maybe not with the compiling side. I've never compiled in it, so I don't know, but I'm assuming there's an add-on. So let's go.
Inside of a folder and click on Create File. Now you can see everything is completely blank, so we're finally going to paste the first line of code. Now all you have to do is open source LLMs are getting better than ChatGPT.
Want to break into cybersecurity but don't have experience? The Google Cybersecurity Certificate uses real-world.
But what's even better than that is a fine-tuned LLM based on your data. In the past, this has been very hard to do because you need a lot of computing power, but today you can do it easily with Gradient.ai. Gradient removes the need for infrastructure and allows you to either use one of the many state-of-the-art open-sourced LLMs to build your AI application, or you can use one of their out-of-the-box industry expert LLM that specializes on things like healthcare and finance. What makes it even better is that Gradient allows you to use your private data on top of their LLMs. This creates an even higher performing LLM. This is especially important if you're a business because you control the data and the model that it is on top of, which is essential to your privacy. You get more value with a custom AI because it can solve your problem faster and be more relevant. The best part is that it's pay as you use, or if you have a business, you can contact their sales rep and get a custom quote. So click link in the description to fine-tune your LLM with Gradient AI. Thank you so much for sponsoring this section of the video. Now all you have to do.
Yeah, if you're a big business, keep your developers. Keep your developers that know what they're doing and do a good job. Do not switch to AI. A developer has a wider, open level of awareness of what they're doing in the wider world and application, and that's what they do. ChatGPT and any of these AI things, I find they're very blinkered, even specialist code ones. They're very focused and blinkered on what you've told them to do. And that's why I say use it as an assistant, but you've got to be very explicit in what you want them to do. And you've got to give very specific, clear instructions. Don't just give them a general, make me this app, because it'll do it. But whether it does something catastrophically wrong that fails when it compiles, or whether it does something subtly wrong that's causing, you don't notice for 5 years down the line, and then that data is all gone, all irretrievable, and you can't fix the problem. There's nothing you can do about it. So get a proper developer still, because we're not at the stage of AI just writing a whole huge application and letting it run with it.
Is go down in the terminal. If you don't have a terminal, all you need to do is click on View and click on Terminal, or you click on Terminal and click on New Terminal. Then you should have this in the bottom here. Since we're in the Ender Documents folder, you might see that we are here in Users Ender folder, and the way to change that is to write CD and then click on Documents. Now you can see that we're running inside of this Documents folder, which is exactly where we have this Py file. So now all we need to do is, now I'm gonna write Python, and then I'm gonna write the name of the file. So you remember screen1.py. So screen1.py. And if we click enter, you literally have your first software running. You see this? If I click now, there's a screenshot that is saved right now. Another click, another screenshot. So I can go back and forth here, and I can go to new tabs. I can click more and more, and it will literally save screenshots for me right here. The first product is usually pretty bad, and that's where we enter in.
Well, what it's doing there is just overwriting the same screenshot every time. You could just use your clipboard and print screen button. That's not saving them.
To phase number 2, refining it. As you can see, it's doing screenshot.png and it's basically overwriting the screenshot with another document. Also,
yeah, exactly.
So it's right here in the documents folder. It would be way nicer to have it all organized and maybe the screenshots ramp up. And I actually asked it if I would run this in VS Code, how would I do it? And you can always ask it how to do things. That's like the best thing about ChatGPT. It'll teach you all of this, even how to go to the documents folder. And here is the refinement prompt. This prompt here is probably the most important, as if you do a bad refinement prompt and then you just continue down this path, it might never work. So sometimes you always go.
That's exactly what I said. If you don't get your prompts right for it, it's not going to be right. You've got to be very specific and explicit, and you've got to focus it in, because the more you go around in circles with it trying to fix something, the worse it seems to get and the bigger holes it seems to dig. I use it, but don't put it in control is what I'm saying. Use it as an assistant. If you don't know how to code, don't write much of an application in it. It's all right for these simple little, every developer, this is the first chapter of a kind of development textbook, this kind of app. It's not super advanced. If you're doing something more than this and you know nothing about programming, don't do it. ChatGPT and any type of AI isn't going to work for you. You need to invest the time in learning right now. I'm not saying it won't get there, but right now it's not there.
Go back to the refinement prompt to get a better initial condition. So
this is your brain when you're struggling to focus.
Adverts again.
And this is your brain when you're in the zone. But
actually creates the best result. Sometimes I just end up in loops and loops and loops. And if you do, go back all the way to the beginning almost and then refine it, or even start a new chat. So my first refinement prompt was, okay, great. Please make some changes to the script. First, I want to be able to see the cursor when I take a screenshot. Second, all of them same as the same name. So that's the second issue. Every screenshot starting from 1 and going up. So we get a list of, 30 screenshots as it's running. Then I want an easy way to stop the code. So maybe if I press Ctrl-Alt-L, it stops, right? And I usually add this at the end. Before you help me, advise me if this is the best way to go about it. And you'll see if these are working or if they're not working. However, what ends up happening is that it says a lot of different.
You can't ask it to advise you if it's the best way, because the way AI has learned is it's gone through guidebooks, technical guides. So for every function and bit, there'll be how to use this function. So it's literally running through the list of examples, or it'll be going to stuff like all developers use Stack Overflow. We Google stuff and we use Stack Overflow, and all you find on there is somebody that's had the same problem as you 3 years ago, and everybody that's updated it and bumped it has also said, has anybody got a fix for this? If someone has a fix, they don't typically go back and publish what they did to make it work, because they haven't got a problem anymore. So they just leave it, let it go. And that's it. The information isn't getting back there for the AI to read these workarounds, and it doesn't know good practice. It'll put very dated methods in that are inefficient and not good. And you have to ask it to not do that and point it down the right road. And if you don't know, because you're not a developer and you don't have a broader range of experience, you're not going to be able to know what to tell it. And so just because something kind of works or looks like it's working doesn't mean it's okay. So be careful.
And things, I say, let's do it. And then it has an improved script. Now, here is where you will come into probably the most valuable part of this video. You copy the code, you go back to Visual Studio Code, you paste the code, and it's very important that you click Control S so you save it. In the terminal, I'm gonna write again cd.document to get in the right folder, and then I'm gonna write what. I can click the up arrow, Python screen1.py, and when I click on enter, as you can see, we get an error. Now, this is very normal. It's pretty much the definition of...
Yeah, it's normal, like, but if it did know, it wouldn't have made a mistake in the first place. There's developers out there that would get this right first time and, you know, it wouldn't make that simple type of mistake. It's it is what it is.
Doing coding with ChatGPT. You copy the error, you paste the code into ChatGPT, and it will just give you an answer. Sometimes maybe you have to install something that you haven't installed, or it will actually just give you code.
Yeah, especially with assembly references and things like that. ChatGPT is very good at overlooking these, and it'll code them in through something without telling you, and then it'll fall over because there's no reference there. So, yeah, like I say, it's very blinkered. It doesn't know the wider picture of what it's doing, and that's where it gets problematic and dangerous. Maybe not so much for some, little toy app like this. It would be like, in the first couple of pages of a textbook, he could have found an example and just done that, I'm sure.
You just copy that back into VS Code again. You click on Control and save. You go down to the terminal, click up arrow, run again, click some buttons, and now it's saved and it's going into the correct folder. It's actually counting way up, or you get an error, you copy that error back again, and that's the loop. Again and again, asking, error, and again. So you can see that I can't see the mouse, please fix. Also, the Control-Alt-L doesn't work. And could you make a little UI that I can click stop? And just like that, it gives you that. And it's literally, there's still no cursor showing. This is how you do the back and forth. Just as an example, this was the entire error code. I just copy pasted it. That goes copy, paste, say instructions, find out more information, and you will go just around and around for a little bit while you will see incremental results that just makes you so motivated. And we just go through it like, we made this happen and that.
You didn't do it. ChatGPT did it. And it made a lot of mistakes because you don't know how to prompt it properly to do what you're doing within that context. That's the reason it had a lot of problems and you were round in circles.
That happened, and it's really, really fun or tedious.
If you want to build an app and have no idea how to code or where to start, check out Basic.
Skip.
Sometimes. Really depends on you, actually. And by the end of this process, you will go from 53 lines of code to the final version, which is, 73 lines of code. And if I run this one, you can see we have the start and a stop button that if I click on start, I can click around, capture anything I want. Go here, say hello, save that, go to a different website, even go to Amazon.com if I want to, take screenshots all day on Amazon.com. When I'm finished, I just click on stop. Every time I run it, it actually creates a new folder, and inside of that folder, you can see all the different screenshots that we took earlier, including the mouse. So you should now be able to refine your prompt and keep iterating until it gets better, seeing that, oh, can I add this feature to make it even better? And by the end of this process, you will have a finished product that you actually like. Then step number 3 is to turn that into an exe file, or you can even turn it into a Chrome extension if you want to. Let me show you. I asked it how to turn it into a Chrome extension, and apparently I had to create like a web API or something like that. So I asked it, is it simpler to make an exe file? And he's like, yeah, definitely. And he basically said, just install this and just run this. It took about 3 to 5 minutes and it just created this build folder for me. Inside of it, we have the screen click one and we have the dist that if I click on this program right now, the software is just running. So I can just click on start.
That is quite a, look, it's a very dated user interface with like, it looks very Windows 95 that, modern applications tend to not run in that. And if you're making a desktop application, I don't think, people can correct me if they're wrong, and I know there's Python fans out there, but I don't think Python is the best language for doing something like that. You would, C# is the ultimate, like, probably because it's my native language and I've learned it since version 1 and it was kind of a new concept. That's my age. But Python, I know every developer has their own favorite, but Python is not mine. I kind of see it as a bit of a, I'm not going to say amateur's language because it has its applications and people use it very well, but come on, like in the hierarchy, I think C# is a bit better.
They don't even have to go into Python or whatever, and I can just keep clicking buttons and getting screenshots. They even have all inside of these folders, they have all of these things that I would have no idea how to create. Now you can just compress it to a zip file and then just send your app to a friend. By doing this, I learned a completely new skill that I wasn't able to do before, and it...
What skill did you learn? You didn't learn anything. You messed around to make a simple app with ChatGPT that you could have got coding examples off Google and you could have done it yourself and you could have had some idea of what it was doing, but you didn't learn a new skill here. We'll just be clear about that. Like, software developers spend years at university. If you've spent an afternoon with ChatGPT, you've not learned a new skill and you've not learned to be a developer. I'm just putting that out there, that maybe there is some sort of talent to this and aptitude, and, you know, you didn't do anything either. ChatGPT did that. Let's be clear about this. You didn't have a clue. You ran something that didn't work. You fed the error messages back in, and you fed them in again and again until ChatGPT got it right. It wasn't by the sounds of it, a very smooth process that either of you knew what you're doing, and I don't think you did learn anything. I challenge you now, get a textbook, get a C# textbook. I haven't got one to hand here. I was going to wave one in front of me, but there's a VB.net out of the collection. But I challenge you now to go and get a book on C#. Get free online guides even and read the tutorials, because I'm pretty sure Microsoft have very good courses in their online academy. Go, Google what you need, use the guide, use a C# guide, make this application in WPF, use XAML and C#, write it up to date, cutting edge, do that yourself, learn it. Don't use ChatGPT. Ignore that. Go and do it with Google even, and you will have learned something, and you can make this better, more up to date, and sort it yourself. Use Stack Overflow. Learn something. I challenge you to do that and do an update to this, and I will watch it, and I will say, congratulations, well done. You've put some work in and you've learned something. But with ChatGPT, you've learned nothing. Rant over. Go.
Feels like nothing is impossible. I obviously haven't tested it on thousands of lines of code and megabytes of data and all of this complexity, but I hope that you will take on one of your ideas, code it yourself, get obsessed with it, and you will enjoy it a lot, I promise. If you are making one of these projects and you want to contact me directly, check out Patreon down below. Also, if you want more videos of me, click on this video now, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Oh, there's me coming back up. Yeah, all I'm going to say here is absolutely, you know, the challenge remains open. I lay it down to you, and I challenge you to do that application in C# and WPF, learn something, and then we'll see, how much better you can do it yourself. But also, it is a good video, and it's interesting, and it's interesting to see how people are using this and doing things. That was actually my last reaction, and I've stopped it at a really unfortunate place coming up. But yeah, that's it for this week. If you liked it, like and subscribe. Buy me a coffee. I'll see you next time. And Andy, I challenge you to do it properly with Google, with C# and with XAML. Those are the best for it. I challenge you to do it yourself and learn something. And you probably won't thank me later. But yeah, that's it. Go and do it. Yeah, done now. Over and out.